Welcome back to the BQ Daily Show, where I document the day-to-day of personal growth, building discipline, raising the standard, building a business from the ground up, and sharing my perspective on all of it as I go. I've committed to doing one of these every single day up until episode 7305, which will be the 20-year anniversary of the show. My goal with all of this is to showcase the day-to-day of a man who desires more out of life, who refuses to quit. And it is my hope that through documenting the journey, it will inspire, help, guide, or serve as proof for anyone looking to get more out of life as well. If I can do it, so can you. You just have to start. Yo, it's March 6th, 2024, 7:43 p.m. I'm at my desk yet again. And so the topic of the show today, I guess, would be, so I'm at work, right? Everything's great. We're all bullshitting. I work with a bunch of guys who are close to my age. There's some that are much older. There's some that are fresh out of high school. It's all good. But we all have a good time. We all kind of bullshit around, and it's a lot of fun. There's so much bullshitting, though, that anytime anybody does anything wrong, everybody jumps on them and makes fun of them in a playful way. It's all teasing. We're all bullshitting. It's fun. And I don't know if this makes me too sensitive or too soft or whatever. I don't care. But for me, there's a point where it becomes too much and it becomes not hurtful, but very annoying very quickly. And I think for me, it becomes very annoying because it's so predictable. If I mess up, I know people are going to say shit. I can guess what they're going to say, and I can guess what they're going to do. And with certain people, I can almost guess the exact tone in their voice or what they'll say. It's annoying. So for me, that predictability becomes an annoyance, and the shit gets under my skin quick. And going with that, I'm learning a lot at my job. I fuck up all the time, and I embrace it. Not that I don't care that I fuck up, but I don't care in the realm of, if I fuck up, people see it. Oh, well, I'm learning. I'm not perfect. I'm brand new. I'm still learning. And I will always be learning because I'm a student of the game. So in that regard, I think it's really good practice for me. I'm getting a lot of reps in, fucking up, and having to own that fuck up in front of people, even if it's quote unquote embarrassing, or if it makes me feel inferior, or so a big thing for me actually, and so here's some ammo for anybody looking to shoot at me. It's always been a struggle for me when somebody directly or indirectly insults my intellect, because I don't think I'm a stupid person or a dumb person. I don't think I have low IQ. I don't think any of those things, actually. I would consider myself to be an intelligent person. I think there's a lot of street smarts that I have not a goddamn clue about. There's a lot of very important topics that I don't have any knowledge of whatsoever. But as far as actual IQ, which has nothing to do with knowing information, that it just gets me. And I think it's because I perceive myself to be this type of person who's smart with higher IQ, who can recognize patterns and is good with numbers and picking up on, I don't know, I already said patterns, but, and it's funny, I'm talking about this, stuttering, not knowing what I'm going to say, talking about having higher IQ, the irony, right? So I've always considered myself, well, I wouldn't say always, but I would say the last 5 years, just with everything I've gone through, I've just been internal a lot. And I guess some of the things that I'm able to pick up on, some of the patterns, whatever, that I'm able to see, some of the behaviors I can see in people, some of the predictability or the predictions I can make based on behavior, stuff like that. I've always, I guess, been that way. I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying anymore. But all that to say, it gets me very bothered when somebody thinks that perhaps I'm dumb, or maybe I wasn't thinking right, or I'm a certain way, so I didn't think, or it just gets me so upset, dude. And so that happens a lot at work, actually, and it has been happening more and more because I've been so here's the thing. So at my current job, Hill Air Force Base, there's a lot of processes you have to follow for certain procedures and things that you have to do to make sure that everything runs smoothly and that everything is completed according to the book almost perfectly. Now, how you do that, there's different avenues you can take. For example, and if anybody from work is listening to this, you're going to laugh, but I always make the joke. There's a certain tape that we can use and a certain tape that we can't use. But the book that we use calls out that you can use both tapes. It's the official documentation of what we use for work. It calls out in plain sight multiple times, repetitively, that you can use both tapes. And this is just one example, but it's a good example. So I'm like, okay, well, why can't we? And people make fun of me because it's like, no, you can't because last time we used it, this happened, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. But it says you can. This is official documentation. If it was so bad, it would be removed, right? The answer is always yes. So why can't we use it? And so now I'm the guy that's like, oh, he's obsessed with that tape. He wants to use that fucking tape, but just use the goddamn, what's wrong with we're doing it the way that's always been done, kind of thing. Nobody said those exact words, but that's the exact energy they give off. Another example is every single time we do any kind of process, I try to think of a different way to do it that hasn't been done, or probably hasn't been done, because I'm sure there's better ways to do everything that everybody does in there. And so we're not in a rush whatsoever. We're never in a rush. So me taking an extra 10 minutes to try something new, almost guaranteeing it's not going to work, but then knowing it won't, and then crossing that off the curiosity list, that I have to embrace failure a lot with that, because I don't want to say failure, but I have to embrace the embarrassment, if you will, if you can even call it that, of messing up and having people see that and then them think, oh man, he didn't know that you're actually supposed to do this. What a dumbass, And it's like, no, I fucking know how you're supposed to do it. And to be fair, there's a lot of things I don't know, but with certain things I do. And of course, I would do it that way. But if I can think of a different way or a better way, there's nothing wrong with that. And there will never, ever be anything wrong with that. I mean, if you're taking 70 fucking days to try to figure out something that's going to save you 3 seconds on a process, maybe then there's something wrong with it. But I'm just trying new ways, trying to figure out new things to do. And oftentimes it fucks up, it fails. And I have to embrace it, take it, and be like, hey man, my bad. I'm just trying something new. For this next go around, I'll do it the way that's always been done, just to get it done so we can move on. But I'm going to keep on trying new shit because, dude, you want to know why? Because I want to learn. I want to try new things. I want to push the envelope. I want to try something new, something that's not been done. And I don't care about the credit. I don't put my name on shit there. They wrote a whole ass book and a documentation and a whole pamphlet for a newbie to have so they can learn the process 10 times quicker than I ever did. My name's not on it. Did it for free. No recognition whatsoever. I don't care about that. I made it for me. Turns out people find it useful and I've been giving it away. And that's very cool. But I wouldn't have gotten that if I didn't take the time to fucking try new shit and write it all down. Because, I mean, there's 10 iterations of the goddamn thing. So you can say that I failed 10 times because the first one wasn't good enough, had to improve it. Second one wasn't good enough, had to improve that. Third one was missing some shit, had to add more shit to that. Fourth one didn't have it all, so I had to add more to that. Fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth, 10th, and I'm already adding more. Just fixing things, there's typos. It's okay, and it's funny because nobody says shit about that because they don't even know what it is. So that's neither here nor there. I'm not even going to talk about it, but... So I guess the point of this show is I'm embracing a lot of failures, mini failures we'll call them, a lot of embarrassment, and getting okay with that. I mean, and kind of, I'm baby stepping some shit, but as far as when people start, throwing punches or whatever, like, hey man, you fucked up, what the hell, man? God damn, you're having such a hard day, huh? First this, now this, haha. And it's all fun and games that it is, and it's fun. Because I dish it out sometimes too. But again, it gets to a point where it's like, hey man, it was funny. I messed up. I'm learning. Can we move on? It's one of those things. And so I'm getting a lot of mini failures. I'm getting a lot of mini moments to embrace the embarrassment, to embrace the failure, to embrace fucking up, to embrace, I guess, just owning my mistake. And with that, I was getting so annoyed today. I was, I'll admit it, I was being a little bit more passive aggressive, and told one of the people in the shop, I was like, yo, dude, fuck me for trying new things and trying to learn, right? I mean, my bad. And I don't know if that got to this person or not, but they came around later and they're like, you know what, man, I appreciate what you're doing. This is cool. Appreciate you owning that. A lot of people do, yada, yada. And I was like, yeah, I know. I didn't say that, but I was like, it's like trying new things, man. There's no harm in trying new things. There's no harm in trying to grow and learn. There's no harm in learning, period. So Not like we're in a rush. It's not life or death. Having a good time learning. So that's pretty much how it went. That's how it ended. And we're all good. And there's no problems. But it does get very annoying very quickly because it's very predictable. Who's going to say what? And anyway, so I guess I wanted to share that to say that I'm trying to embrace failing and trying to get comfortable with the uncomfortableness of messing up and looking like a dummy. Because at the end of the day, I know my intentions. I know how smart or how dumb I am. I know those things. I don't have to prove it to anybody. I think my actions in due time will prove well enough where I'm at. So I'm going to keep it right. I'm going to just end it right there. But yeah, and honestly, I don't know. Sometimes it's just tough, man. Everything that I got going on, sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes I'm feeling like, so full transparency, I haven't felt like, what am I doing this for? This is a waste. I haven't felt that way. I haven't felt any kind of way, actually. I've just been feeling alone, man. I feel like nobody's on the same path as me. Nobody even thinks of the same path. And I just have to, I don't know, man. Feels like I gotta almost shy away from talking about this stuff in real life because people don't get it. People don't have the desire to do certain things in life. Or maybe I'm just in just in the wrong place. You know, I'm not surrounded by people who have the same goals and vision and desires to be better and all this shit. I'm not saying you have to be, mirror identical image as me, but there should definitely be some kind of common theme there, or commonality, I think is what I'm trying to say. And I don't have that around me. And so sometimes it's very difficult. As much as I would love to, get off work and go hit the gym with a homie so we can talk business, talk shop. If he's got a podcast, we can talk about podcasts, or maybe he's running a business. I can drill him on questions, or maybe he's trying to get into podcasting and I can help him with that. And I don't know shit about podcasting, but I want to have more. I want to have deeper conversations. I came across this term. It's called an intellectual sparring partner. I came across that and I thought I like that a lot, actually. Someone you can just throw ideas back and forth with, talk about, and call me a nerd, I don't care, but talk about theories, laws, principles, all this shit. I love that stuff, man. I love learning about studies and the findings of the studies and placebo effects and the perceived notions of certain things and what people vote on or whatever the fuck based on their psychological, whatever. I love that stuff, but not a lot of people do. And so anyway, I kind of sometimes feel lonely. I feel like I got a long, lonely path ahead of me, full of a lot of rewards and proud moments, and I don't know, because right now I'm absolutely okay with how everything in my life is right now. I don't hang out with friends, rarely see my family, I don't go out, I don't watch movies, I don't watch TV, I get sucked into social media here and there. I just don't do much, man. I like to sit at home and work on this. I like to record podcasts. I've come to discover I like to challenge myself. I like to take ice baths. I like to read. I like to learn more. I like to try to help other people. I like to work on this, like I just said, get better at speaking, get better at communication, get better at speaking. I just said that twice. It's okay, get better at speaking. I like to, feed my body healthy foods. I like to, consume valuable content and good stuff for my brain. I like to learn more. That's me, man. And it's not a lot of people like that. And so sucks sometimes, but anyway, there's my sob story. Again, just to document the fact that I'm here, I'm human. This is where my thinking. Haven't started a goddamn thing yet, but we're 139. Is it 139? Are we on episode 140? What the fuck is going on? This goddamn cord in my face. So it was 139. So 139 days and haven't missed a single day. Haven't done shit yet. I probably won't start business for it'll probably be 500 episodes before business actually gets going. So, and that's if I even choose to stick with the same idea I had. So lots of unforeseen things in the future, obviously. Don't know. So, anyway, that's a show. That's it. I appreciate you guys listening. Hopefully somebody out there can relate or feel comforted knowing that they're not alone, because we're not alone. I know I'm not alone. I know there's some of you out there listening who are going through a similar thing or have gone through a similar thing or are actually kind of somewhat planning on going through a similar thing. And I think that's the whole intent behind the Your New Norm podcast, which is going to dive into lessons and things you can, I guess a more practical podcast with lessons and takeaways and a lot of value about the new norm that is the life that you choose to live when you're pursuing the ultimate excellent version of yourself. Because you're going to be alone a lot, you're going to be by yourself a lot, you're going to be on this self-doubt path for a long time, you're going to be doubting every move you make, I haven't even done shit, and I know that. So that podcast is going to be dedicated to that. It's going to be, like I've always said, that's going to be the main one. This is going to be the daily shooting from the hip, quick documentation one, even though these episodes are just ridiculously long and compared to what I said they would be. I said they would be 3 minutes, and now almost every single one has been longer than 10. A lot of them have been 15, some have even been 30. And that's not the plan. I want them to be super easily listenable and you can quickly catch up, because if there's going to be 7,305 of these, that's a problem. You're not going to be able to listen to all of them. So don't know the plan with that, but nonetheless, keeping this commitment that I made and doing it every single day not only advances me in speaking and communicating more clearly, but it advances, a lot of cognitive shit, as well as simply just keeping the commitment that I made to myself and then doing this every single day. And it doesn't even have to be sit down at my desk with the mic. The point is to have my phone and to be able to do it really quick, document something, and keep on moving. But I do want to practice with the microphone, which is why I have been doing it this way. I don't know when I would start the new podcast, when I would start actually recording, I should say. Hopefully soon. I would like to get the episodes to be a lot more polished and organized and have a lot more substance to dive into. And so until that's achieved, I don't think I'm going to move forward in actually recording it and making it a real episode. So all that being said, I like what I'm doing. It just feels lonely. I really like what I'm doing. I'm very proud of myself. I'm working hard as fuck. I'm doing a lot of things that require a lot of discipline and resilience and all that shit. I'm very proud of myself. There's not a lack of that. I'm actually very happy despite everything I just said, but I just feel lonely. I don't feel lonely. I feel alone. I just feel like I'm on a path that nobody else is on, and I can't see anybody on the path at all. There's nobody in front or behind me. And I just think I need to associate with people, with more like-minded people, or perhaps move somewhere or go get involved with people who are this way. But until we get there, I will never give up. I will always keep pressing forward until whatever this thing that I'm going for happens. And it will happen, because I won't ever give up. So if I never give up and I'm pushing hard every single day, I'm going to be somewhere at some point. And so knowing that, I can rest easy, knowing that this all won't be for nothing. And so with that, I'm going to end the show. I appreciate you guys listening. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace out. That's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. And as a daily reminder, this podcast does not focus on sound, quality, or professionalism as much as it does just getting a message out, sharing the wins and losses of the day, and just documenting the day-to-day through it all. So if you want to keep up with me, it would be awesome if you could give the show a follow on the platform you're listening on, as well as a rating or review. Support this early on goes such a long way. So thanks again, and I'll see you tomorrow.